Hey everybody! Today we are going to be talking about how to maximize your potential with Deborah Deras. And I just again want to welcome everybody to Double Your Sales Now, where you learn all the tips, mindset shifts, tools, and strategies to 2x your sales in any niche. I'm your host, your very enthusiastic host, Ursula Mentjes, and I can't wait again to dive in today. With that, let me tell you about Deborah. Deborah Deras has one primary purpose, and that is to empower leaders to achieve peak performance through mindset for success strategies. She is the CEO of Synergy Unlimited, a professional training and development company. Some of her clients include JP Morgan, Macy's, NBC, General Electric, Verizon, New York Life, State Farm Insurance, Macy's, and Kaiser Permanente. She recently was a keynote speaker at a marketing and branding conference for plastic surgeons, along with Kris Jenner, trying to keep up with the Kardashians. She also teaches social media marketing strategy workshops for small business owners through the SBA El Camino College, Long Beach City College, and Beverly Hills Chamber of Commerce. She has a master's degree in education and a bachelor's in marketing. And when she's not speaking on peak performance workshops, she hosts a podcast called Be a Paid Speaker, which is amazing. Check it out. Be a Paid Speaker Now. I was on her podcast. It's just a great show for those of you who are wanting to get into the speaking world. And she facilitates monthly workshops in Pasadena and Manhattan Beach on how to use speaking to boost your revenue. Deborah is the co-author of a book entitled Confessions of an Adrenaline Addict, How to Be Successful Without Compromising Your Health and Well-Being. And her new book on Align for Success is coming out in May of 2020. Today, she will share with us how to align for success. So please help me welcome back, not back, but back in my world, because she's been on here a couple of times, top Latina peak performance speaker, Deborah Deras. Hi, Deborah.
I'm so glad to be back. And truth be told, the more time I get with you, the better, Ursula. So.
Well, I feel like we co-create when we're in this space. Like, just really cool things happen. So I'm just delighted to be in your energy. So I want you to start with your story. You have an amazing story of like stick-to-itiveness and do whatever it takes and believe in yourself. So let's start with your story, because I think our listeners could really benefit from hearing what you've done to create this incredible business and career.
Yeah, because people always say, well, how did you decide to become a speaker or motivational speaker? What inspired you? You know, that's always a story when you come off stage. And I wasn't like a little girl at 7 years old thinking, oh, when I grow up, I want to be a speaker. I always said I want to be a teacher. And I remember all the kids in the neighborhood, like I would get out my whiteboard and I'd be teaching, and I don't know what I was teaching them, but I would always gather a crowd. And it was just like something that was in me. And I would see my dad come home from Toastmasters and he'd be practicing his speeches. I'd be like, good job, Dad. But my dad, yeah. But speaking was something that came to me after working at a government job. And I had gone to school for 8 years to learn this government job, because my dad, being an immigrant from Colombia, said, you just need a secure government job with benefits. You work for 40 years and then you retire. And I remember walking up to the front desk at this government job, and I said, good morning, to the receptionist at the front desk. And he looked at me like this. And I was like, what is wrong with him? Why didn't he say good morning back? They said, oh, that's Walter. Don't worry about him. He's about to retire. And I was like, retire when? And he had a clock above his head that was ticking. And it was like 3 years, 2 months, 2 minutes, and 55 seconds. And I was 26 years old. And I was just thinking about this clock ticking above my head for 45 years. And I said, I cannot wait to live passionately for 40 years. I need to live passionately right now. And I made a decision at that government job that I was going to start my side coaching business, and it led to speaking, and here I am.
Wow. That is such a visual. Just picturing, I can feel that clock. No
Oh
one
God.
wasn't smiling. Can you imagine just watching that every day for 40 years? Just shoot me. Wow.
Even for 3 years, you know what I mean? Because so many people are checked out and just living in the status quo and satisfied with whatever revenue goal that they think they can hit or that they think that they can achieve, and not realizing that we are creating our own set points by our mindset. You know that.
Yeah. Oh, so much stuff I want to dig into. So I want to go back though. So okay, so there was government job and then launching your business, okay? So what were the limiting beliefs that you had about sales when you launched the coaching business, if any?
Yeah, I mean, even though my undergraduate was in marketing, my master's degree was all about counseling and education. And the limiting belief in my mind was, I'm not a salesperson. I'm a social worker. I'm a counselor. I was helping people with disabilities get jobs. But of course, my supervisor saw my, go get 'emness and had me doing career expos. And I was selling sponsorships and getting exhibitors to sign up and just like really doing sales. But my limiting belief was, I can't sell and, I have no idea how to do that. And I really had to shift my energy. And I did a lot of NLP work right before I quit my job. And it was like a 3-week training where we released our limiting beliefs. And when we were doing that, I started getting coaching clients, believe it or not. And I was like, oh my God, this stuff really, really works. And when I got my first speaking engagement, that was literally that 1 hour, my whole month salary at the government job, I'm like, I think it's time to quit. I think it's time to quit. And I had, gone to school for 8 years to learn that job. I had worked in that career for 6 years, and then I was done. I left in 2002. I quit. So I've been self-employed all this time.
It's amazing. And it is so fascinating, like in the speaker world, how much you can be paid for a keynote compared to what you can make in a regular job on a monthly basis. Like it was as much as your salary. And
right.
It's like, who would have thought? Like, I know when I am paid for keynotes, it's like, this is amazing. I love this work. And it's about us really stepping out and sharing our gifts and believing we're worth it. So I want to go there because so many of the shows I've had lately, we've talked about imposter syndrome, which somehow you were able to put, like, what did you say in that moment? Did you have any limiting beliefs about saying, wow, now I'm making, X amount for a keynote, like it's as much as my monthly salary? Was there a moment that you had to push through, or were you just like, this is awesome and here I go?
Oh, yes. Many, many moments that I had to push through because that imposter syndrome still comes up today. And I still do the inner work to release it because no limiting belief is going to stop me from fulfilling and serving what I believe is my soul's contract. And the things that I say to my coaching clients is that want to be speakers is that we are the messenger for the message. It is through us and not from us. And I say that to myself when I have the imposter syndrome because it's like, this is not about what do they think of me stepping on the stage, or do I deserve this amount of money? This is about me serving. This is about me solving the problem. This is about me being available so that the audience, my coaching clients, get what they deserve. And I have to step out of it's about me and about service to them. And that shifts the whole energy because instead of being self-conscious, I'm like, how can I serve them at the highest and best? And I literally say to myself, my self-talk when I go on stage is that the audience is receptive and that I am able to say what needs to be said, that they can hear what needs to be heard, and that the audience leaves transformed and inspired better than when I first came on stage. And then I'm like, okay, it's done. Let it go.
Good. It's so good to have that clear intention though, because so many people can have nerves. And you're right, when we're being nervous and scared and we're in that space, coming from someone who's struggled with that, who's like, I'm on the other side of it, but to remember that it's not about us. Like you said that so well, it's not about you, and to have that clear intention of how you want the audience to feel before you step on stage is so powerful. So I want to keep going. So you launched the coaching business. So at what point did you quit the job? Like there was enough more money coming in, you're like, oh, this could be a whole career, or now even more than that, this could be a business. It is a business. Like, was there a moment when you had a big sales month, or the moment where you said, I'm done, I'm quitting my job today? Like, tell us about that moment when you made that shift.
Yeah. So like you, I did a lot of training and inner work. So besides doing the whole NLP certification course, I also went to seminars on my money mindset.
Yeah.
And when I was at these seminars about my money mindset, I realized that there was a set point and that I was putting a limitation on myself. And my coach at that time said, you know what, Deborah, it's just as easy to add a zero to whatever amount of money you're getting. In fact, sometimes it's easier because when you give people a discount, those are always the people that don't appreciate you and nitpick you. And it's just never worth it when you discount yourself. And when she said that to me, I was so suggestible from all the NLP training, from all the money minds, from all the money mindset training. I think the maximum I had ever been paid for a speaking engagement was $5,000. And then the next week, I got a call from someone seeing a video on YouTube from an agency offering me $50,000 for a series of speaking, but it was literally adding that zero.
Wow.
Within 1 week of her suggesting that, I went from 5,000 being my maximum to 50,000, which as a social worker is like your annual set income that you're going to make every year for 30 years, no matter how hard you work. It's 50,000, maybe 60,000 if you're lucky, right? And I don't believe in luck. So I was like, oh my goodness, holy mackerel. I was like, this is powerful. What we believe and what we align with. That's why I talk about align for success, because it's not just saying the affirmations, but it's really having the emotional vibration and calibration that this is the truth of who I am. This is the value that I give. This is what I offer to people. And then I stopped feeling guilty, because as I started getting more higher fees and more money, I would get it and then I would feel like I had to kill myself at the gig. You know what I mean? And it was just, I would literally stress myself so out that I was getting sick almost every time after I would be done speaking. And I remember I was married at the time. My husband would say, if speaking is going to be your career and you're going to be anxious every time you speak, it's not going to work out.
Well, that didn't work out, but this did, the speaking thing, right? So
yeah, true.
I want to go back to add a zero. That's just so good.
Yeah.
Let's just soak in add a zero for a moment. Because
oh yeah, that's a good hashtag. Add a zero. Add a zero, everyone listening.
That'd be a good book title for you. So add a zero, because we do hit that financial set point. And I remember some of the first money mindset training stuff that I went to, it was like, bang, like I had this belief I could only make as much as I'd ever made in the corporate world. But when you
right.
salary and you put that into your business, that's not enough, because that's not what you're paying yourself. And I think a lot of people get stuck at that set point. And so I have added zeros, and but that's just such a brilliant way to think about it. So for everyone who's listening, I just want to encourage you to like write down like what you expect. If you're a speaker, like what do you expect for a keynote in your business? What do you expect, and add a zero, and just for a moment, see what starts to show up. Like that's my challenge for everyone who's listening, Deborah, because that was so good. So after you added the zero, you get the $50,000 contract. I know you're so super into NLP and limiting beliefs and what shifted for you, but what was your new belief about money and what's possible for you once you got that contract?
My old limiting belief is that I had to work hard, that I had to slave and sacrifice, and literally exchanging time for money. And when I went through all of that training and did that inner work, I realized I am abundantly paid for my value and what I bring, not for an hourly rate. It had nothing to do with an hourly rate. It's based on my expertise, it's based on my experience, and it's based on what I deliver. And so that shifted everything, because I could have conversations with the JP Morgan. I could have conversations with Procter and Gamble, Verizon, General Electric, my new clients. And because my old belief was like, oh, I never worked in corporate. I went from nonprofit to government. So my limiting was, you can't work with these Fortune 500, Fortune 100 corporations you don't know anything about them. I'm like, I don't have to know about them. I know about how to maximize your potential. I know how to get their employees to have peak performance. I know how to increase productivity, creativity, and innovation. And that's their bottom line, right? And so because I know that I was delivering their bottom line, fee is irrelevant. Fee is irrelevant.
They didn't care, right? They didn't care about your background. They wanted to know that you could solve their problem and you could help them in these areas. And you made that really clear. And you had phenomenal experience anyway. But it was like, it's interesting how we make up those limiting beliefs that then become a story. And you said, I am abundantly paid for my value. And that's so powerful. And I just want to repeat it for all of our listeners to make sure, if you're not feeling that, write it down. Like you should be abundantly paid for the value that you deliver. And if you're not, then there's a disconnect and there's a limiting belief in you that, that some story that you're making up, that's just not true.
And if I can give everyone my affirmation, I have this amazing affirmation that has worked for me, and I've amended it over the years. So it's I'm always in the right place at the right time with the right people to allow my divine talent, skills, and abilities to be abundantly paid to do what I love and best serve the world. And there was a time that I didn't say abundantly paid, that I just said I'm in the right place at the right time for opportunities. And I would have opportunity after opportunity, all free. And so I added abundantly paid. And then I also added to best serve the world. Because to me, it's not satisfying enough just to have money for money.
Right.
It's about impact. It's about, am I really going to make a difference? Whether I'm speaking to an audience of plastic surgeons or speaking to an audience of professional Latinas, I want everyone in the audience to have an impact, and they feel it. They're like, wow, you were the speaker at the conference that gave me the most value. I took 10 pages of notes from your talk. It's because I'm still a teacher. That little girl that wanted to be a teacher is a teacher in the form of a speaker, in the form of a trainer, in the form of a coach and a consultant. That's just, was the title.
I love it. I love it. It's a good thing this is recorded because somebody's going to go back and they're going to want to get that exact affirmation that you just came up with. So thank you for that. So when I keep going, I know clearly because you teach speaking, it's a big part of what you do. But like when you look back on the trajectory of your business, Deborah, what are the top 2 strategies that you used to double and triple and quadruple and keep growing your sales?
Well, one of the things that I use and I also teach is social media marketing. So when I told you that I landed that $50,000 contract, it actually ended up being $60,000 because my attorney had me add 10. I'm like, I love you, attorney. She's like, we got to add travel expenses in here. I'm like, okay, that's great. But they found me through YouTube and from doing videos. They had never seen me speak live and didn't want to see me speak live. I didn't have to fill an application. I didn't have to do everything. And I started getting amazing gigs in Miami and Fort Lauderdale through LinkedIn. I started, Procter & Gamble came to me through Facebook. And I really got masterful at learning the art about social media marketing. And when I do my Be a Paid Speaker Now course, I have YouTube for speakers, LinkedIn for speakers, Facebook for speakers. NASA hired me from Instagram. Who thinks? And literally I thought it was a joke because it was around December. I didn't have much work in December, so I was doing videos. And NASA called me and they said they wanted me to do a vision board workshop. I'm like, are you serious? You're in Houston? Do you have a budget, Houston? And I thought it was a joke. They're like, yeah, we have a budget. I'm like, okay, let's go. So now, one of my secret sauces is social media marketing and how to leverage that, because I know one of the things I learned from your boot camp and one of the things that I'm implementing now is doing calls. But all of my 18 years as a speaker, I never did calls. It was all marketing. It was all my email list and social media marketing and really cultivating those leads. So now it's going to be even skyrocketed from your working with you, but like up until then it was the marketing. And the second thing, so that's the external, but I believe from all my training that our inner world creates our outer world. The other thing that is my secret sauce is my spiritual practices. I do meditation. I do visioning. I have this wonderful book, Creating Money. I do exercises from this book, and I literally align my thoughts, my emotions, my energy with my behaviors to get the results I desire. If I am not having calls coming in, if there's no revenue come in, I don't go out and like, how can I move? How can I hustle? I go in. You go in. And I get still. And then I ask for guidance. I listen to what I call the divine downloads. And so do you in your book. When I read your book, like, she's calling it divine. Didn't you call it divine downloads? I was like, oh my God, we're in the same vortex. So I ask, I listen, I hear, because some people ask and they listen, but then they don't hear. And then I take inspired action. My mentor says, don't move until you're moved. I study a lot of Dr. Joe Dispenza. I'm in neuroscience class learning all the quantum physics of how my mind can work. And literally he says that unless you have a clear intention with a passionate emotion that's combined, there's not going to be an action. So I really do the marketing and then I do the inner work. And those two things have been my secret sauce that have kept me. And I'm single. I don't have any other revenue except my own self-employment. And I know as a almost J-Lo age woman that that's my new level of age. I don't call myself by age. I'm almost J-Lo years old. I know that I don't want to be hustling. I want to align. My intention is to align so that I am focused and I have a clear intention and I'm attracting that success to me instead of pushing it and pulling it. So let's go. Okay, there's so much we got to talk about. We got to unpack this a little bit.
First of all, you look fabulous, and I'm like, yeah, we're all getting toward the J-Lo age, and now she's like, reset the standard, right? So I'm gonna be 46 this year, and I'm totally celebrating that because, like, look at these amazing role models we have who are healthy
I'm 46 too.
and killing it out there, right? Like they're just
Yeah.
crushing it and living. I mean, J-Lo's like a quadruple threat now. I don't even know all the things. I just saw her on a big billboard at Mall of America. I'm like, look at what you're doing.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, I say billboard, but it was on front of a store. It looked like a billboard to me. Anyway, store billboard. I think it was for Coach. Who knows? Anyway, I'm sure someone will correct us on that. But but what you're talking about, okay? I want to challenge it a little bit because there's a lot of people that get stuck in action and they just go, 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 go. And this idea of the inner work, right? It seems kind of woo-woo. And yet here we have Dr. Joe Dispenza, who's incredible. Like I've been studying his work for a while as well. And he's deep into neuroscience. He's actually measuring before and after when people come to his workshops, right? I don't know if you've done
the brain. He measures your brain waves.
Brain waves to see how different they are, right? Okay, so what would you say to someone who's like, nah, I'm not gonna do the inner work. Like that's just, I'm just going to stay, I'm going to be out there.
I mean, literally, that's why I wrote the book, Confessions of an Adrenaline Addict. So I didn't believe in doing the inner work. I'm like, ain't nobody got time for inner work. I need to hustle. I need to go. I need to do. And at 24 years old, I ended up hospitalized with adrenal burnout because I was compromising my immune system and all the systems of my body because I thought I just needed to do more. I needed to go faster, no pain, no gain. But Joe Dispenza even talks about it in all of his talks, is that you literally can't be creative and innovative in a state of fight or flight. It's a different part of the brain. All of the faculties of your brain are putting blood to your extremities so that you can save someone that's running in the middle of the street. You don't have that part of the brain that is connected to creativity, that is connected to innovation. So that's why companies bring me into their audiences to be able to train them to switch over from that fight or flight, let's save the day, stressful mode,
to
your
being lizard brain.
Focused. Right. To
Yeah.
being focused so that you can actually solve problems. Einstein says, my favorite quote is, you can't solve a problem from the consciousness that created it. Yeah. It's because you're at the level of the problem in the conscious brain, only 5% of our mind. Our subconscious, 95%, our superconscious genius potential, that's what we need to tap into. And that's why I meditate. And if people don't believe in meditation, they can research breathing. Just breathe. Just have conscious, intentional breathing just to calm yourself down so you can focus.
Yeah, and create. I want you to hold that book up again, The Creating Money, because I have that book as well. It's behind me.
I had to get the new edition because the old one didn't have a cover. I had it since I was 19 years old. I used it to manifest a mansion to live in when I was 19. I lived next door to Jean-Claude Van Damme with Val Kilmer's brother, Mark Kilmer, from this book.
Yes, tell us about, so for people who are on the treadmill right now or driving who can't see the video, what's the book and who's the author?
Oh, it's called Creating Money. It's by Sanaya Roman and Dwayne Packer. And what I love about this book is it's like 6 pages of facts, and then there's an exercise of the inner work. Yeah. So they take you to a place of aligning. This book isn't about money, it's about energy, because money is energy, right? So if you're wanting money for what? Oh, for freedom. So align with the energetic vibration of freedom, and you're going to be the magnetic frequency of what you desire, freedom. And so then you're going to attract that money because freedom knows freedom. Peace knows peace. Love knows love. So it's anytime I have a program that I want to fill, I do the exercise in the book, magnetizing a person you don't yet know, and then the program is filled.
I love it. So I mean, I think you and I both had that book for a long, long time. I just want to make sure you talked about it because I think it's always interesting to see where people, like what they started first or what was one of their first books. And then show us your book again. And then like, what do you have behind you?
Then I have all your books. This is Confessions of an Adrenaline Addict, How to Achieve More with Less Effort, which some people think less effort is horrible. But what's wrong with less effort? Like, it's a dirty word. That's why I loved having Debbie Allen on the show. Her book, Success is Easy. Yes. It's like so many people think if it's easy that there's something wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. Ease and grace is okay. We've been socialized to believe we need to hustle, we need to kill ourselves, but actually we just need to align with our divine talent, skills, and abilities. We need to allow our purpose, which I believe is our soul's contract, to be fulfilled. When you are doing that, the universe, I think Paulo Coelho said this, literally conspires for your good. You will be put in the right place at the right time because that's why you're here. No longer will money or revenue or increasing sales be a struggle because it's just alignment.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember there was a month, I don't know, maybe it was about a year ago, and it was just a weird month. Like, it seemed like everything had stopped. And I was like, oh, and I forgot what I knew, right? Do you ever do that? You forget what you know?
Yes.
And so then I stopped, and I totally detached. And I said, and one of my coaches said this, money comes from the divine. Money comes from the divine through people. Money doesn't come from people, it comes through people. And that's always stuck with me. And I just said, you know what, God, like, show me what's next. And I had this clear thought of this divine download, as we both call it, of let go, just get out of the way and go and serve. And then it will start again. And it's like when you forget that piece about, really serving the people who are in front of us and why we're on this planet to really help people. When you forget that, I feel like you will be reminded very quickly. And when I get too much into action and out of alignment, that's what happens. It's like everything stops. And then I go, oh yeah, I know, I remember now. Like we all need to be reminded. So I want to make sure we save time for you, because we know you're obviously an expert in alignment and reaching your peak potential, your maximum potential. I'd love for you to share 2 to 3 strategies with our listeners that you share with your clients.
Well, one of the things that I love to share about when I do my workshops is I have the system where we address the little voice in our head. That's the ego that I always say is not our amigo. But it actually is like a little puppy, right? I call my ego Lola because you wouldn't yell at your little puppy for peeing in the house, right? Just like we wouldn't yell at our little voice that is saying, oh, but I'm comfortable with this amount of money, or I'm comfortable with not doing this calls or whatever. What we would do is we would coach it to say, oh, we're not on that program of lack, limitation, scarcity. We are on the program of abundance. And so I do a reframing program, and it's TEEBR. And T is for thoughts, where we identify what is that limiting belief. E is for emotions. How do we feel when we have that limiting belief? What is our energy level? Is it high or is it low with that limiting belief? B is for behaviors. How do we act when we have that limiting belief? And then I invite them to go within. And I do like a breathing meditation exercise where we get in touch with the divine downloads. We get in touch with what I call, it's really our intuition, which is our intuitive guidance system. Just like we have a GPS in the car, we have an IGS in our minds. That intuitive guidance system is guiding us in the right place at the right time. It's saying, go to that networking meeting where you meet that person that gives you the contract. It's not about, we put out a proposal or something, get it. We meet people face to face, but it puts us there. So I teach people to listen to that. And then I ask their higher self to give them that empowering belief, to download the truth of who they really are. And then they'll say, you know what? I am worthy, or I do deserve it, or, I am the best, whatever it is. And then how is your emotion now? How is your energy now? What are your behaviors now? And then that's how you have your new results. So I empower people to take back control of their mind, not to let the ego, that little puppy, run around wild, but to really realize our minds are just like a Google search engine, that whatever we type in is what we get out, but we have control of the channel, whether we're going to be at K-Fear, oh, worry all the time, or K-Love, Radio Amor, where we're going to be in a place of gratitude, be in a place of possibility that can only happen when we're connected and aligned for success.
I love it. I love it. Love Lola.
My higher self is Umaya, but Lola, I love my little puppy. I'm like, you know what, sweetheart? And I talk really sweet to Lola. I'm like, oh, you didn't know. We're not on that, like, trying to just get by program. We're not trying to just maintain. We're not trying just to sustain. That's scarcity, honey. Like, I don't judge her, because we cannot judge our ego. We just, like, remember Wayne Dyer in Power of Intention, what he says? He says, be the compassionate observer. Don't judge.
Yeah. Yeah. And did I hear you say scarcity, like scarcity?
City, yeah, scarcity.
Oh, good. heard that before. That's so fun.
I took an abundance class and we talked about staying away from scarcity. We literally did a play so that we integrated in our mind, you don't want to be at scarcity.
Yeah. That's so good because it gives you a visual to move away from. You can move
Right?
from, and you don't ever have to go there. Oh, that's so good.
And then, but where you do want to go is abundance. And the last 5 letters of abundance is dance. So the more you dance and get yourself on a high vibration frequency, the more abundance you're going to have. Abundance. That came from a divine download. I was like,
on that abundance note, I want to take us, so we're almost out of time, but I want to make sure everyone knows how to find you. And I know you have some really, I think you have a free gift for our listeners and you have some cool things coming up. So tell us all the good stuff and where we can find you.
Yes. So I have a free gift. I have 5 steps to be a paid speaker. So many people say, well, how do I get started? I want to be a paid speaker. And you can get that at Deborah Deras. It's DeborahDeras.com/speak now. And you can download that free gift. I also have a podcast that you can listen to Ursula's episode. You don't want to miss her episode. It's so fantastic. She was like so good that my other guests stayed in the studio to hear her. They didn't want to leave. Oh yeah, they wanted to stay. And then they came to your training. So it's Be a Paid Speaker Now podcast.com. You can listen to Ursula's episode. I have 55 episodes of amazing speakers like Ursula and myself talking about how we get booked to be a paid speaker, how we get TED Talks, how we do this, how we do that. And then if anyone wants to hire me for speaking, I do keynote speaking and workshops on peak performance and marketing to grow your business.
And how do we find out about those, your workshops?
Oh, DeborahDeras.com.
Okay, so DeborahDeras.com and then / speak now for the gift.
Yes.
DeborahDeras.com / speak now to get the cool gift. I mean, just get that. If you're thinking about being a paid speaker or you're in that world, like you have to have that. And listen to the podcast. It's free. It's so much inspiration. And I know some of the guests you've had on there, I know would be inspiring. I wish I would have known about it when I was out there like struggling to become a paid speaker.
Yeah, I wish I would have had it.
Excuse me, but we all wish we would have had you. So Deborah, we did it. Thank you for being here today. We love you. We wish you so much success in 2020. Keep us posted on all the greatness. And I know this is going to be one of those shows that people listen to over and over again. So thank you for being here. And
thank you.
I want to thank our listeners all over the world. We love you. Email me directly at Ursula, URSULA, @salescoachnow.com. I want to hear what you like about the show. I want to hear if you have any ideas or any certain topics that you want me to cover, or if you have any questions. If you haven't yet, go to salescoachnow.com / gift to get our PDF. It's free. It's the 6 secrets to doubling your sales. It's a 1-pager. It'll help you like get out of a rut or get to that next level. So definitely download it. I'd love to partner with you on your next event. So if you have a sales training event, or you want to do a private sales camp, or you have a keynote or a conference, go to UrsulaMentjes.com, UrsulaMentjes.com, and you can fill out a little form there and it comes to my team and we'll figure out if we can show up and how we can support you. If you haven't been to sales camp yet, I just want to send out a personal invite from me. I'd love to have you there. Because you're a podcast listener, you get a very special investment price. You can email us at contact@salescoachnow.com and my team will tell you what that is, and just put sales camp in the subject line so they know what it's all about. We just had someone flying from the East Coast. They showed up, came to sales camp. We'd never met them before. They met us through the podcast. So it's super cool. We'd love to have you there as well. And finally, you're a listener of the show, and I'm so grateful. When you have time, go in and leave a review on iTunes. We just had a bunch come in recently. I'm so grateful for those. Let people know what you like about the show so that they can figure out if it's a good fit for them as well. And please share it with your friends, your colleagues, your family members, anyone who's in business who wants to get to the next level. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't yet. And if you want to check out more videos, tap the screen right here.